So then this game came out on PlayStation, which isn't like one of the most important games I ever played. It's just memorable to me because it's kind of had this spooky type feel to it. It's like a RPG, but it's like first person perspective, like a first person shooter. It's called Kingsfield 2, I think. It's one of those Kingsfields. And it's just really slow, and you swing your sword and you have to wait for it to charge back up, and you can swing your sword again. And just the landscapes and the whole dark spookiness to it, and there's skeletons, and it's kind of like makes you have weird dreams or something, or it makes you sleepy, and it's just one of those games that I still remember from back then, even though it wasn't that great. So Super Nintendo, there's also this RPG I played called Draken, which I got for my birthday. And I went to this party like right after I got it, and I didn't have time to play it, so I was like at this party and I was reading the instruction booklet like the whole time, and I got all excited about it. And the thing I like about Draken, first of all, is that you're like walking along, and up in the sky there's these constellations, and they come to life sometimes, and these monsters come out of them. They attack you, and these pretty dangerous monsters. You pretty much got to run away from them. But anytime something's like in the sky, or some kind of plane or monster or some kind of weird stuff comes out of the sky, like UFOs, I get interested in that because I like seeing crazy crap in the sky. I think it would be cool if we could someday use the atmosphere to project images, like have our own TV screen up in the sky. I don't know, I just like cool stuff like that. I had a dream one time that aliens attacked the planet, and they were all like circling around like space invaders and made this weird shape in the sky. The game also had like weird shit, like there's this giant panther head at the crossroads that would shoot laser beams out of its eyes as one of the monsters. And you could loot castles. It's based around these 4 different areas, like there's a snow and a desert and something else. And there's like these castles you can go in that belong to these dragons, and you gotta like find all the dragons and get them to cooperate with each other and do quests to kind of like get the dragons not to be pissed off at each other. It's just another one of those games that had that trippy kind of feel to it where, I don't know, the sound and the graphics were just kind of weird. Oh, there's also this wandering merchant guy that would just appear sometimes on the road. Kind of like the ones in Crossroads and Ratchet and World of Warcraft, just a wandering guy that sells shit to you. He would just magically appear too. So then my friend that I bought Mad Dog McCree off of showed me this game, I think it was him, called Return to Zork. There's like Zork, and then there's Return to Zork, and then there was Zork Nemesis. I ended up getting that too. But Zork's one of those games, it's like you can do anything pretty much. Like you start out like you're on this road. I don't know, you wouldn't call it an RPG, it's just kind of an adventure type game. You look over, there's a rock, you can pick up the rock, and then you can throw the rock at this bird on the signpost, or you can, there's some vines on the signpost, so you can somehow get the vines without messing with the bird, I think, and then you can make a slingshot, maybe, and shoot the rock at him with that. Or you just throw the rock at the bird and he'll fly away, then you can get the vines. And you'll need the vines later because then you can make a raft out of these old wooden planks that you find. So when you hover your mouse over something, it gives you this menu, like you could throw it away, you could throw it on the ground, you could pick it up, you could tie it together with something else, you can combine things, or you could just do all kinds of different stuff with it. It's kind of open-ended like that. Then you get to this weird lighthouse guy, and then you cross over somewhere, and you go down the raft, I think, and then you end up at this guy's house. He's like this old man in this cabin, and he's got a distillery or some kind of a still, you know, like he makes rye, which is some kind of moonshine type drink, and he keeps asking you if you want some rye, and it's like, that's one of the most memorable game moments of playing games ever, is just this guy saying, "Want some rye?" Of course you do. Just over and over again. Trying to figure out, like, what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to throw the rye at him? Are you supposed to drink it till you get so drunk? Or are you supposed to throw it on the ground? Or are you supposed to combine it with something? You don't know. It's just kind of weird like that.
Want some rye? Of course you do. Damn few. Want some rye? Of course you do. Oh, would you pick up a 6-pack while you're out? I'd be much obliged. And they're all dead.
So, yeah, that game was kind of based on Myst. I think Myst might have came out before it, and it's kind of like a clone of Myst, and a lot of people know Myst, played Myst. Then there's another type of game, which is, I don't know what you would call it. It's kind of like an adventure like that. You go around in the game, you look for stuff to click on to progress in the game. Stuff that you'll need, clues. The one I played that I got really, really into is called Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within. And a lot of these games I play, they're like sequels to something I never played the first one. So Gabriel Knight 2, it's like a CD-ROM type game. You have good graphics like you're in a movie. It's kind of weird though, this guy, you control this guy and you walk around the room and you look for stuff, and then you end up going to Germany and walk around this town in Germany, and you got to talk to people and interview them, ask him questions, look for clues that'll help you proceed. But he just kind of stands there like an ass. And I guess because I was just a kid, you know, I hadn't got out on my own, got my own house at the time, that it was kind of fun to me to see what it would be like to be, you know, with the freedom to do whatever you want and nobody telling you what to do. Like, this is what real people do. They just sit around the house and they look at their stuff and, oh, here's some photos. Let me just look at these photos. And, oh, here's something over here. Let me just do this. I mean, it made me think life was going to be really boring once I got out of my mom and dad's house. But the game, I got so into it that I couldn't figure out what to do, and I got kind of stuck on the game, and I would call this hotline. Sierra Games made this hotline for their game, you know, like for tips. I'd call this tips hotline, and I'd ask them how to get farther in the game, and they would tell me, or it was like an automated thing. I forgot how it was, but 3 or 4 times I had to call and figure out how to get farther in the game, and it's like $3.99 a minute or something, so I ended up paying like an extra $12-15 just to finish the game. And then there's another game just like that called Phantasmagoria 2, which is another sequel. And it was cool because the guy, he always did weird stuff, like he's kind of a nerdy type guy, and the acting in the game is just really bad, so it's kind of funny to watch what he does and what he says and how he does it, his little mannerisms. But I like how the game, you're working in an office, like in a cubicle, because that was like making me think, oh, maybe I'll get a job in a cubicle when I grow up, because this looks kind of fun. You have all these people, and you spend all day just kind of walking back and forth, talking to different people, and then every now and then you'll check your email, and then go to the water cooler for a while, you know, and then the other half of the game, there's people getting killed in the cubicles, and then you end up going into some demon world. I don't know what the hell happened, but you get sucked into this alternate dimension or some kind of world where there's demons and monsters or something, and you get back into the normal world and back in the demon world, or I forgot how it worked, but it was something cool like that. I think my last CD was scratched and I couldn't complete the game because there was something wrong with the disc, so that really pissed me off. Yeah, I think that's all of the games I wanted to mention before we get into the FPSs. And now we're going to start talking about first-person shooters.
Well, good morning, Sleeping Beauty. Well, were you up too late watching Beavis and Butthead, or organizing your stamp collection?
Actually, I was up early this morning. My rat stole my wallet.
Yeah, a likely story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just couldn't haul your lazy butt out of bed, huh? I, on the other hand, have a social life.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was out dancing until dawn. But here I am on time and fresh as a daisy.
A daisy, huh? You know, I could say something.
Don't you go there. Don't go there. I'll have to see you later, mean boy.
Mm-hmm.
show